Hi everyone, it's Mitch from sportschatplace.com and picksandparlays.net, and it is Saturday, April 20th, 2019. Here with your free live show. Of course, we're here live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We do free picks. Of course, if you're interested in our best bets, those are over at Sports Chat Experts as well as picksandparlays.net, and you can get 15% off. Let's see on Facebook, the clock is covering it, so we will move it there. You get 15% off all of your purchases today at Sports Chat Experts and picksandparlays.net. Use the code UFC15. I'm watching UFC, that's why I made that the code. Of course, lots of action today. 4 NBA games. I have 3 of them in the premium area. And we got tons of Major League Baseball. We got a few double headers going on. And I have a lot of Major League Baseball in the Premium and Premium Plus. I might even add some picks as well. Usually when I add picks, it seems that they don't do too well. So that's why I'm hesitant to do it. But, man, I see a few games out there that I'd love to give some premium picks. So I want to start today's show. I love boxing. I mean, I love it. It's college football and boxing, it's like neck and neck as to which is my favorite sport. I think if I'm at the boxing match, it's my favorite sport. And I think if I'm, I love college football. So it's a tough call, but I would say that they're neck and neck for my favorite sports. And through my whole life, it's always been that way. Back when I was a kid, they used to have Friday night fights. Muhammad Ali used to fight on Friday night fights. And, they used to have, Ken Norton against, George Foreman against Jimmy Young, and all of those things happened on Friday night fights. And I grew up basically watching boxing, and there was no pay-per-view back then. There was closed circuit where you would go to like a movie theater and watch like Frazier versus Ali or Hagler versus Hearns, but there was no pay-per-view on TV, and most of the fights were free. And every Saturday they had fights on CBS, afternoon fights. Roberto Duran, Esteban de Jesus, Sugar Ray Leonard, all those guys, they all fought on regular free TV. Well, tonight there's a fight, and it's Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan. And you guys know ESPN Plus is one of my sponsors, right? These are our friends, but I'll tell you what, if you pay $70 for Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan, you need to have your head examined. I mean, how in the hell is that fight worth $70 on pay-per-view? It's not even worth getting a month of HBO for $10. That fight stinks. And I'll tell you what, Crawford's going to kill him. It's an overlay. Those of you guys that like to do parlays, throw in Terrence Crawford. You like to throw them ridiculous odds. Put it this way. I love boxing so much, I don't even know what the odds are in this fight. I'll take a look real quick and see what the odds are on this crappy fight. But $70. You want to talk about the ultimate in greed and just outright bullshit. $70 for Amir Khan versus Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is minus 1450 in this fight. That's how lousy this fight is. Minus 1450. If you bet on this fight, it would take, let's see, how much would you have to bet? If you bet 1450, you'd win 100. So if you bet about $1,000, $1,200 on this fight, you could pay for your pay-per-view. That's how crappy this fight is. Don't do it. I know they're my sponsor. I don't care if they drop me. How about that? That is absurd, and it's what's wrong with boxing. Anyways, we're going to do some free picks today. I played golf yesterday, first time in about 12 to 15 years. I told you guys I'd been chipping in the yard and hitting some golf balls. And I played 9 holes as 3 over par. So double bogeyed the first hole. And scrambling like a short order cook the rest of the way to try and make up. But I hit some serious iron shots. 4 irons that were just, this far from the cup. I ripped them. Maybe it was the time off and I was just focused and I got rid of a lot of those bad habits that I had. But I'll tell you, my chipping and putting, I could have been under par. But my chipping and putting was just not there, and that's normally the strongest part of my game. My putting was terrible, absolutely terrible, and my chipping was worse. My chipping was probably why my putting was so bad. Yeah, Pryor versus Arguello. There was Pryor versus Arguello, and then there was Pryor versus Arguello 2, which was both great fights. Anyways, we're going to do some free picks. Let's get right into it, and we'll get back to some of this other stuff. Got a ton of baseball going on. Like I said, I got premium picks in a lot of these early games, but some of them I don't. So the Cardinals, I don't know what happened yesterday. They let the lead up early, and they never recovered against the Mets. Today they get Chris Flexen on the mound for the Mets against Miles Mikolas. Mikolas, pretty damn good pitcher. Flexen, he pitches mostly in relief. The last time he started, back last July, was the last time the Mets even let him anywhere near a pitching mound in the major leagues. He allowed 5 hits, 5 runs, all earned, a home run, 2 strikeouts, and 3 walks, which you guys know I hate when the guys have more walks than strikeouts. And 76 pitches and out of the major leagues after that. Never came back. 0-2 he was last season with a 12.79 ERA. Most of that as a reliever. I mean, you look at some of these lines on May 26th of last year against Milwaukee. 2 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 3 earned. I don't care, man. If you're pitching, they're all earned to me. And once again, 1 strikeout, 3 walks. I hate this guy. I'm going to take the Cardinals here. Let's lay the run line. That'll be our first pick of today's show. Of course, we do free picks every single day. Our best bets always over at sportschatexperts.com, as well as picksandparlays.net. You can use the code UFC15. I made that code UFC15 because I'm watching it right now. It's on ESPN2. On one channel, I just finished watching the 2011 NFL Draft. It's always fun to hear what they have to say about the guys as they're being drafted. And NFL Network is running a replay of all the drafts. So I think they're on 2012 now. Very, very interesting to see like how these players panned out and how they're trading up and hyping them and everything, and it kind of just leads you back to keeps it on perspective for this year's NFL Draft. But the NFL Draft, of course, is this week, and you guys know we watch so much college football that we got a ton to say. I could say, I was looking at the running back ratings yesterday, and I could see, their ratings, just how bad they are, right? I mean, the 2 Alabama running backs are basically rated up there. Jacobs is a strong running back, but we saw in the big game he wasn't anything. Damian Harris has been a beast, and I think he'll be a beast in the NFL, but he's certainly not a 3-down running back. David Montgomery in Iowa State, Miles Sanders, Penn State, Darrell Henderson on Memphis. This guy was a game breaker. I mean, game breaker. I mean, this guy's a home run hitter. He's easily the best running back in this draft. It's not even close, right? Benny Snell on Kentucky. I mean, this guy, he played in a below-average offense his whole career and still got numbers. Devin Singletary, we saw when he played against Oklahoma, he wasn't able to do anything at all. But the thing is, his offensive line was a little overmatched. Justice Hill, we know he's a problem, right? These Oklahoma State running backs, problem. Rodney Anderson, Oklahoma running backs, generally do pretty well in the NFL, right? It's this is not that hard. Travion Williams, Texas A&M, once again, another school. Rarely puts together good running backs in the NFL, and we keep going. Rykel Armstead from Temple. Usually when Temple has a guy, like a Muhammad Wilkerson, it's they're really good. I'm just not sure he's that guy. The guys that I like are definitely Henderson, Bryce Love, who came into the year as the Heisman favorite, played most of the year when he played at all, injured, and now he's ranked 18th of running backs. I think he's the steal. And the other guy I like, of course, is from Miami, Travis Homer. Oh, my God. Ranked 23rd. Did anyone see Miami last year? Was it me? How bad their offensive line was? Human turnstile, right? It was Their offensive line was so bad, and Travis Homer the last few years has put up numbers when Mark Walton was injured. I mean, he put up numbers. Travis Homer is one of the best. And Miami running backs in the NFL, oh my God. I mean, look at them. So it's not that hard, guys, in the NFL. Those are the guys you want, and you don't need to. They don't need to be first round picks. Running back is the one position where the long shot, the guy from that you never heard of or whatever, can make big contributions. I mean, Alfred Morris, remember like the year that he had his rookie season? I mean, these guys, it happens all the time. All the time. Like, we loved Alex Collins out of Arkansas, remember? Loved him. And, I mean, look at him. I know he's out of the league because of DUI or whatever, but man, he was a beast in Baltimore. I think Myles Gaskin is another guy. The problem I have with Myles Gaskin out of Washington, even though I love the way he plays, is that he played for 4 years. So some of those 4-year guys in college, especially at the running back position, or more so than any other position, it's kind of like he's taken a few years of abuse. So he might, sometimes that's not such a good thing. But anyways, well, I'll talk NFL draft with you guys anytime you want. We could do an NFL draft special if you guys want to do it. I love NFL draft. I think that it's amazing to me just how wrong these guys are. When looking at this, it's like, it's not that hard. We watch the games. We know who can play football. I mean, just ask us, right? We watch all these games. We bet on these guys. I mean, Henderson on Memphis, how much money did we win with this guy? I mean, how much money do we have to win? How many, gardens do I have to put in my yard, that this guy paid for anybody to even understand? I know the premium members do. And I know you guys do because we talked about them all year long. Anyways, let's get to another free pick. So the Indians are playing the Braves in the doubleheader. We had the Indians yesterday. The game got rained out, so we'll go back to the well. I know it's Tehran instead of Tiki Toussaint, but we're still going to go with the Indians. I hate the minus 160 price, but that's how bad the Braves are. That's how bad their bullpen is, and that's how bad they are. So we'll take the Indians minus 160. That'll be our second pick for today's show. We're going to do a bunch of picks today. There's a lot of games on the board. This is what we do. We do free picks, and of course, we talk about other stuff too. We talked about the fight to open the show, those of you that joined us a little bit late. And like I said, I love boxing, but you have a minus 1450 favorite here. And I just don't see the value at $70 on pay-per-view. $70 isn't going to break me. It's not going to break a lot of people, but it's not like it's $20 or something or $10. That's a $5 fight on a good day. I don't think I would pay $5 to see Amir Khan versus Terrence Crawford. And I love boxing. If anyone's getting the fight, by all means, let me know. And so I can talk you out of it. Yeah. Crawford he's going to destroy him. He's minus 1450. And I'll tell you what, you guys know I hate big favorites. I hate, a line like minus 1450. I would never bet it. Crawford is every bit a minus 1450 favorite in this fight. Amir Khan is at the point of his career where he is going through the motions, where he has enough boxing skill to go through the motions against the top boxers, but he doesn't have enough to beat these guys. I mean, we saw him. He's not good enough. Of the welterweights, Crawford is the one, right? I mean, he's the one. I'd love to see him fight Errol Spence, right? Spence Crawford, that's going to be good, but it's going to be like Spence Pacquiao or something. We love Manny. We've seen all Manny's fights live, right? But, see that double play in the Angels game where the guy popped up, didn't run to first, so the defense dropped it? No, I didn't see it. I was out playing golf yesterday and missed a lot of the games, to be honest. I played in the afternoon. It's the first time I played in 15 years. I really enjoyed it. I have a video of it that someone sent me. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if it shows up. If it does, I'll do a screen share. And I'll show you guys my swing out there. Let's see if I can find it. It's actually in slow motion. But let's see if I can do it. Let's see how I do this screen share. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I hope so. Bang! Yanked a 5-iron. Anyways, back to some pit. Not bad for not playing for 15 years. That ball ended up left. But anyways, let's get to another pick. Glad I was able to show you guys that. Pretty cool. I like the Rockies here against the Phillies. I know that this game went to extras yesterday. We had the Rockies, and I think I'm going to stick with the Rockies here. I'm going to be fading the Phillies a ton this year. I've been fading them a ton. I'm going to continue to fade them a ton. And I have little faith in them, is really what it comes down to. So I'm going to take the Rockies in this one with Senzatella at home. Aaron Nola just has not looked the same. You know, he hasn't. And he's just not worth it. Now he's down to minus 121. Nah, I don't think I'm gonna go back to playing regularly golf. Like I used to play every day when I was a kid and all the way up through my 20s. I played every single day. When I could. Like when I lived in New York, I used to play on the weekends in the summer, you know, of course. But then, you know, I moved back to Florida in the 90s and I played every day again. So I've played, you know, thousands of rounds of golf, but I hadn't played in about 15 years. And I had a lot of fun playing, but I think I might play once in a while, but I don't think I'll be playing like that kind of golf anymore. Yeah, I don't even care if there was no injuries in the lineup for the Phillies. This is a team that's way overrated. Way, way, way overrated. Aaron Nola is, you know, he's been good the last few years, but, you know, he's not looking like that same pitcher this year. And a trip to Colorado, usually not good for a guy who's struggling. We're going to take the Rockies at even money. But, of course, as always, we have a troll here. Thinks that some guy named Wonder Dog is better than me, even though he gets like, he's the type of guy, he states like his record in like the last 4 hours, you know, it's like in the last 4 hours I'm 1-0. You know, it's like he never shows his picks or his record, no documentation at all. They wanted to advertise on our site, and the answer is no. It's like if you sell picks and don't document your record, there's no fucking way I'm going to do anything with you. Zero. Not only won't I let you advertise, I would never even have you on the show. I would never do anything with you. I don't want to be associated with you. The only thing I'll say is, why don't you show your record in your picks? Anyways, I'm going to take the Reds in this one with Luis Castillo. I like the way the Reds have kind of picked it up. I know they're 7-12, 2-7 on the road, but that's a lot better than the record was. I'm going to take him here with Castillo, minus 116. He's looking like the Castillo that we thought he was going to be when he started his career. You know, Castillo was highly thought of when he has been highly thought of, and he's been one of those guys that kind of like, he's been good but not great. And I think this year he's kind of trying he's kind of crossing that line from good to great, and he might be a guy when we look back and see minus 116 at San Diego saying, remember that time we got 116 on Castillo at San Diego? Because he's the type of guy that we're at 116, and even though he's on the Reds, it's like, Blake Snell type thing, where we start seeing 135s, 126s, 135s, 145s, 185s. That's what we start to see on a guy like Castillo. And we've seen it so many times throughout the years. So let's jump on him at minus 116 here in San Diego. Anyways, of course, our best bet's always over at Sports Chat Experts and picksandparlays.net. Use the code UFC15, get 15% off. Yeah, I would be nervous if I was a Phillies fan. I think they have problems. I think that starting rotation isn't good enough. Number one, I think that the lineup isn't good enough. I think Bryce Harper is not good. I think when you pay that much money to a guy that strikes out that much, you have problems. Because Bryce Harper last year he wasn't worth $30-something million. So why would you give him $30-something million for this year? I'm talking, and I watch the games, but I haven't looked at any stats. But let's look at some stats here and see exactly what's going on with him. Let's look at the Phillies and a team that a lot of people saw going a long way this year. And let's take a look at who's hitting. So Bryce Harper is batting .296. This is about as good as he gets, and he's actually pretty much been the best player on this team, which he should be. Of course, he's only got 4 home runs, and that's why you get him. While Hoskins, 5 home runs and 17 RBIs, and Maikel Franco, 6 home runs and 18 RBIs. So Harper's kind of in that 4th best player, 5th best player. Real Muto, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs with the .261 batting average. But Segura is batting .328. There's nothing here that tells me that Franco is worth any, or Bryce Harper's worth anything. But the guy who has been playing well is Odubel Herrera. I like the way that he's playing on the Phillies. I know he's only batting .270, but he's only struck out 5 times. Bryce Harper, we are 19 games into the season. Harper's fine. We're 19 games in the season, and this guy has struck out 25 times. So we figured it out. He makes about $3,000 to $5,000 per at bat. So we'll go to the conservative level. Phillies fans, because they're the ones who pay the bills, right? Because they're the ones that buy the tickets and the ones who are watching to get those TV rights. So they're the ones that pay the bills. So if you're a Phillies fan, you've paid Bryce Harper anywhere between $75,000 and $125,000 per strikeout so far this season. Bryce Harper stinks. Look at his numbers last year. Absolutely hideous. Hideous. If he was on another team, or if he was anybody else, he would have been benched. He's not fine. He stinks. Go to one more pick. I gave out premium picks in the NBA on 3 of the games, and of course, dog of the day is the other one. So let's see if we can pull out some totals here. Got the Nets and the 76ers. We've been on the over every game this series except for the first one, and I think I'm going to go back to the over again. Most of the games between these 2 teams have gone over this number. So like the over in the Nets Sixers, 231.5. I like it that the line's going the other way, too, that it's dropping. So if we can get it better than 231.5, we will take it. And I think that's going to be it. We took the Cardinals on the run line, the Indians minus 160, the Rockies plus 100, the Reds minus 116, and the over 231.5 in the Nets 76ers game. If you like the show, if you like our picks, if you like all that stuff, be sure to hit the thumbs up. Have a great day. See you guys tomorrow.